a ZH League match in Season 9 of the Crazyhouse Team League. And we have Legion Destroyer on board 2 up against Alduto. So 2500 and 2400 up against each other. And this is game 1 of 2. It's a slow Crazyhouse match, so 6+6 time control. And we're joining the action just a little bit late, so let's just see what's happened. So Legion Destroyer from Switzerland up against Alduto from America. Interestingly, not taking the knight on d5, which then is supported. The bishop comes in, putting pressure on c3, so this is looking quite decent. For black, he takes the knight, probably thinking of putting the knight on e4, so pressure on c3, and indeed he does. And he sacks the queen. Okay, this is surprising for me. Sacks the queen, doesn't even go for the pawn here, he's going straight in. He wants takes and bishop at f2, picking up this knight. Very aggressive stuff. If takes here, simply just takes, I guess. And again, the knight can't really be taken back. So really creative move at e3 from black. Takes, and threatening the immediate mate on e7. How's he going to face that? He just takes it, but that's going to cause problems because now that knight suddenly is hanging. So that was a good move, I think. Why couldn't he take with the g-pawn here? I guess queen comes in, and this is still quite threatening. So he didn't want a weakness. So black has avoided creating a weakness, but he's down a lot of material. And why didn't he want king takes pawn, knight here, king here, then king here? That would have been logical, I'd have thought. Obviously not king back, because otherwise bishop at f2 still comes. But he steps up instead, and our bishop here check, blocks. The knight's coming in to defend that pawn, and I think he wants to take and put a knight on g1. That's the plan. And we're up to the live action. So that seems to be the threat. Notice how black hasn't really developed his queen side at all. Just going straight for quite an aggressive attack. Taking the knight at g1 is the threat. And all white has is a pawn and queen in hand. Queen here, not sure that defends that threat. Bishop takes knight incoming, and I think white might have been doing okay earlier if he'd just taken the pawn and then swung, but suddenly black has something to bite on here. So takes, knight here check. Where does that king go? Takes. It looks like it's mate. I mean, surely it's not mate, but it looks a lot like... What? He doesn't take it. He just increases the pressure. And it's very hard to defend that knight, to be fair, but the immediate take looked incredibly powerful. Okay, to be fair, there was bishop takes knight, king takes d3, and then no clear follow-up. This knight here would be hanging. So this move also looks incredibly powerful, because now after takes d3, pawn takes will pretty much... Then pawn takes, then knight at g1 is even stronger. So is there any way for the... So what I think here is if maybe the queen could just move out of the way and give himself some luft. And this Alduto is failing to defend against the threat, so bishop takes knight is coming now for sure. He needs to give his king some luft, and bishop takes knight comes, and black is going to win this game. I'm sure of it. He's just blocked in his own king. Well, the knight on g1 would have blocked it in anyway. He just didn't see this threat. Queen takes bishop maybe, but then bishop takes queen will come. And the queen on d2 would be checkmate, so that doesn't work either. Oh, maybe it would. Queen takes, bishop takes, pawn takes. This queen covers d2, so maybe there's some life in this yet. After queen takes d3, queen takes d3. I wonder. Take the queen. Then what? Oh, maybe then knight there takes. And then you're finishing with you have a queen in hand, which should be enough to finish it with a queen on d. Okay, again, queen on d2 does not work because the queen covers. Okay, but he's just fallen straight for the mate. Takes. Oh, what? Oh my goodness, he auto-queened. Knight here and oh, okay, I was wrong because queen was covering f2 all along. The queen was covering f2 all along. Okay. So there was no mate, because after king e1, this move, queen at b2, was actually sneaky. The queen is covering f2. My goodness, I didn't see that. Huh. Okay, so that explains why he took back for a queen. Okay, so that does make sense then. Maybe this knight falls, but then rook here looks devastating, picking up a queen, and it's a real queen. And this king is safe for the moment. These queens are not attacking the king. No queen in hand. So, yeah, I'd prefer to be black here still, even though there's no immediate mate. You're going to have to defend f2. They're even just sort of simple moves to try and pick up a queen, like rook at d2, which probably aren't good, but objectively, but they cause enough trouble. Even queen takes pawn is not completely awful because of knight here. So maybe, yeah. And the problem is how to defend f2. So if you can't defend with the bishop at g3 because it just gets taken. So maybe bishop at e1 is an idea. Bishop at e1 is an idea. Yeah, maybe bishop at e1 is an idea. It's hard to refute that. Maybe the problem with it is rook here, and then this bishop can't be defended. That's rather cute. So bishop here, you just put your rook on h1, and the bishop at f1 looks pretty hard to defend. How to defend it? You can't defend it with the knight, it just gets taken. So I'm quite looking forward to bishop at e1, followed by rook at h1. I think that would be cute. Is there anything better for white to defend this square with the knight, maybe? Yeah, a knight also defends h2, so maybe there is some benefit. Oh, this is surely dreadful. Yeah, he just takes instantly. This is lights out. Rook here. He could go here, but you're winning the queen with check. This is all over. That was certainly a miscalculation. So where's the actual mate? So he's winning the queen with check, which is very nice. This one is falling as well. He's got another queen. So queen here. Is queen here enough? I was thinking takes. Maybe queen here is not quite enough. The king is trying to run to a3. Where's the finish? Yeah, queen here is enough, because then queen takes queen is mate. So queen here is rather cute, in fact. Queen at c4, king here. Oh, no, that doesn't work, because... So it's a case of trying to calculate the mate. Maybe just take the queen is simplest. Take the queen. Come on, there must be something better, though. Okay, so let's look at this again. Queen here takes... You don't want to go queen takes. So you rather want to go bishop takes. King here to try and avoid... Oh, but then you just take a free queen, and that should be absolutely fine. Legion Destroyer. Queen isn't bishop at c4 just mating? Yeah, bishop at c4 is probably even stronger than what I said. Yeah, and he's got the time to calculate it. He's got 4 minutes on the clock. Oh, I mean, that's interesting. What's the idea? Pawn takes queen. This is a very sexy looking move. What is it? Just giving up a whole queen? It's brave. It's brave. It's brave. Block, and you have queen here. Okay, that's all over. Okay, that does the trick. I can just show the other lines at the end of that game. If you took with the pawn, I think that the idea was to get a queen on c3. So takes, queen at c3, king b1, and then knight d2 as mate. Was there a more efficient mate in this position? No, queen at b4 was the fastest mate. So that's some great mating from Legion Destroyer, finding the fastest mate in that position. Crazy stuff. Hi there, Margency. I recognize you from Bughouse play. So when does the Crazyhouse World Championship start? Its registration closes tomorrow. I should have the link on hand, but maybe I should put it in the chat. Why can't people have respect for their ops and not talk to spectators, says Fumitox. Yeah, but it's a tradition in League Test 45 to talk to spectators, so maybe he doesn't realize this. So Mardency, yeah, I recognise the emergency, and I recognise obviously Fumitox is playing. Let me just dig out. Okay, so let's just dig out a forum link. There we go. There we go. And gosh, I lost my game link, which is I will need to get back to the live action. Okay, so I'm just fetching the link to post in the Twitch chat for those who want to join Crazyhouse World Championship. Then we'll resume commentary on this game. Why is this not pasting? There we go. There's the link for the Crazyhouse World Championship. Registration closes tomorrow. Maybe I'll put the link here as well in the game chat. Okay, so just backing up a second. So it's so Legion Destroyer has managed to win as black. So great performance for his team, which is my team, by the way. We're leading thanks to a Blitz Bullet earlier today, winning 2-love against Zixon. So this is game 2 of 2 in this ZH League match, Crazyhouse League match. And we have the challenging that bishop along this diagonal, of course, eyeing. So important diagonal for both sides. He decides just put. Okay, black decides to swap and bring his knight to f5. Notice white moving his pieces towards the king side. You always want your pieces around your king. And just to say, emergency, there will be 100 game. I'm not sure if you have played a lot on Lichess, but there will be 100 game minimum play requirement this year. But you have 2 weeks to play those games, so so it's something to get started on if you haven't played much on Lichess. And if you have, then great. It'll be wonderful to have you in. And to be honest, the field is amazing. We have Kataskin, we have Jan Li in. 288 people are confirmed in, but about 80 of them have to play that minimum 100 games. So this is quite a comfortable sort of setup for white because he's already got his toehold in on f6. He can't just push because e3 falls. So has to be a little bit subtle. But and also h6 is covered. So f6 is the one to go for somehow. Maybe simply just bishop here, preparing f3. Looks good. Maybe it's too slow, but bishop here, there could be bishop here in response. Marlon reckons white has the upper hand. I mean, white should, I would have thought, have the upper hand because of this toehold on f6. But so here, let's calculate. Bishop here, bishop here. Can we afford to do that? I think we can. So just simply takes, and it's how to control. I mean, it's definitely going to be uncomfortable. So the threat would simply be knight here knight here checkmate, basically. So bishop at f3 is certainly uncomfortable as a threat. But I can't see a good way of defending. How to defend against bishop at f3? It's an interesting question. So I'll ask the chat. h3. Emergency in the Twitch chat. h3. Yes, that's a very good answer. I like that. h3. That's the way of defending against bishop at f3. So bishop at f3, you just take. Yeah, and you're giving your king left on h2, so it's smart. Yeah, knight h5 doesn't make sense because the bishop covers it. Knight h4 doesn't make sense because the queen and knight both cover it. So Pepe says bishop at h1. Yeah, we don't want to do. So bishop here. Yeah, I wanted to use my bishop for f5. So okay, bishop at f3 comes. Oh, okay. So Margency says maybe hc is not so good because it's simply taking. Take. Yeah. So bishop at, well, it takes, but the king always has h2. So yeah. Okay, so he's decided to defend with a knight on f4 instead of a bishop on f4. Yeah, because I wanted the bishop on f4, okay. But obviously he needed to defend g2 somehow, so he decided to defend with the knight. I mean, I'm thinking this knight could be kicked, maybe, if he was feeling... If black was feeling aggressive. I'm not quite sure how. I mean, whoa, he's just left his queen hanging as well. That's the other issue. So, takes and then put a knight on f3 was annoying. Yeah. Okay, so he's just hung his queen. I don't see it, to be honest. I don't see this as being great. I feel like white's attack is slow. I feel like black's attack is faster and he can keep attacking. Like, you want to take my queen? Fine, take it. My attack is faster. This sort of full up. I mean, just simply bishop f3 seems powerful here. Bishop f3, you don't really have time to take this queen, do you? Do you? I mean, bishop takes queen. I mean, just takes g2 and we're threatening mate on h1. And if you take with the knight, there's knight at h3 and a smothered mate. I mean, this is the problem. Hi there, I am C Jebs. Pepperloose thinks bishop f6 is annoying. I'm thinking I don't see it. I don't see it at all. Black's got a queen in hand. This feels difficult for white. After simply bishop back to f3. Okay, but he's gone here. So now he has a knight in hand as well. If you had two knights, then we're starting to get into very dangerous territory, because then you have stuff like knight here, knight here. No, that doesn't quite work. You have stuff like knight f3. No, that doesn't quite work. No, I think I don't see a mate for black here, so I think white does have time to take. Yep, and his defense is still in place. Two knights, sure, he's got two knights, but there's nothing. If he takes the queen, what's he going to do with the queen? His bishop's out of action. So what does white do here? It's a pain. I mean, sure, this bishop's actually quite nice where it is, because even if it gets taken, just take back, and it's supported. So it's like he doesn't actually want to take the queen. That's the sort of situation. Tough position for white. Obviously, if you could kick this knight, then well, you want a heavy. So I don't see anything here. Okay, so he goes back to defending. I mean, takes, knight here, check. No, doesn't really work. Trying to find the efficient way of... Fumi says black is winning here. I agree completely. E2, F3. Yeah, E2, F3 is absolutely... So if you just take the queen, just takes here. Knight takes doesn't defend because of the smother. Knight and queen. Knight on H3, queen at G1. F2 undefended, G1 undefended. I mean, I was thinking even here, bishop F3 was simply bishop back to F3 is strong. But okay, he's got another knight now. Alduto thinking. If anyone's just joined us, as I've been saying to the chat, it's about 24 hours to go to register for the Crazyhouse World Championship. There's the link if you're interested. Do sign up. There is a 100-game minimum play requirement, but players have 2 weeks to fulfill that requirement. And we expect over 200 participants. I mean, we've actually got 280 signed up, but about 80 of them will have to fulfill that requirement, and I'm sure many of them will, to take part in the double elimination. And Fumi's got another idea. Knight h3. Knight h3 is winning. With the idea, if takes, bishop f3, threatening here, this sort of thing. Not sure. But I certainly agree with very hard for white. Yeah, absolutely. So, in this position, do we go knight h3? Hi there, Chuck Moulton. Do we go knight h3? Knight h3 takes. That's giving white a second knight. I still don't see g7 is protected. I don't see an issue. So he just takes back and threatening queen at h1. Okay. And this, okay, if he had 2 knights, it would be knight here takes, knight here checkmate, which would be very pretty. But not much time. And not obvious how to get a knight. Not obvious at all. What do you do here? How do you get a knight? I can't see how to get a knight. Maybe just pawn. Yeah, that's what he does. With 25 seconds left on the clock. Because, of course, after all the exchanges, there's the smother. Takes. Take back, still renewing the threat of queen at h1, and knight cannot take back. So, comfortable position on the board, uncomfortable on the clock, though. With the time going down to 10 seconds and only 6-second increment. But 6 seconds should be enough. Okay, he uses up one of his knights. Takes. Well, he's just going to put a bishop back here. But then he somehow defending. But bishop takes, knight takes. Does knight here work? Ooh. I don't know. I'm not sure that was the right. So no, maybe knight here doesn't work. So queen here is also an interesting idea. Takes. Knight here check. We don't have infinite knights, that's the problem. Maybe takes. Queen here takes. Knight here, knight 2 here check. If you take, it's this mate. No, that doesn't work because pawn takes this way. So I'm still finding it hard to see how to finish this off. But white only has a pawn in hand, so maybe something simple will work. We've only got a pawn to defend. A pawn to attack with and a pawn to defend with. So it should be straightforward. Simply bishop takes bishop. He's going for something tricky here, by the way. Takes, and rook at h8 will be lethal. It's a very nice little trick he's found. Oh, it's coming. King takes, I think, is necessary. He's fell for it. He's fallen for it. Legion is coming in. He's running with the king. I don't think the king is going to get away. Only one queen here. Can he find the mate? Can he find the mate? No blocker. There's a blocker here. Can't block with the pawn, because otherwise you'd take it. Pawn here, check. King here. Yeah, pawn here, check. Can't go this way because queen here's checkmate. Would have to go this way. Oh, this way. Yeah, that's the way you do it. Well, that's a save from Legion. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What a save. So lethal trap there with pawn at e7. Still here, he's fine, I think. Oh. So even here, he's completely fine. He just needs to block with a knight, right? No, blocking with a knight doesn't work. So here leads to mate. Here. Oh, this is some high level stuff. So the idea is if I take with the bishop, then you go here and you run away. And of course the pawn doesn't promote. Okay. And if I take with the pawn, then you go the other way, I assume. You go the king g7 and run away. Yeah. Or you go, yeah, so you could go king g7 and run away. Okay, so at e7 is really hard to see in this position. Okay, so was there any... Yeah, e7 is really hard to see. That's unfortunate for Alduto. But great for our team. So the point is this does not work because queen... knight at d7, either way the king goes, queen here's checkmate. So a knight is also mating. But okay, really nice taking here at g7. At g7 was the real find. I was looking at this, but he runs away. Doesn't work. At g7 is brilliant. Here, queen here checkmate. Here, queen here checkmate. That's amazing. Was there any sterner defense? There was an attempt at a sterner defense with this, but now what you do is apparently you've got the extra pawn for pawn at g7. You have to try and run. Queen at f8. You try and run again. So white does have a mate here. With queen takes pawn, you try and run again. But now you go queen takes pawn here, and you try and run again. And you have 2 pawns in hand, which are just enough to mate with. Well, you've got 3 pawns in hand, but you have just enough to mate with. And wow, what a comeback from Legion Destroyer. Amazing stuff. Katas says, queen d6 was good enough. Or I think pawn at e7 still was fine instead of pawn at d6. Legion played that really well, says IMC Jebs. So queen at d6, queen at d6, queen at d6? So apparently it doesn't work. So takes, takes back. You then got 2 queens, so queen at e7, queen at g7. So clearly queen d6 was probably difficult. Okay, so what? Oh, I mean, I thought, yeah, you meant here, just simply here, queen d6, queen d6 here, I guess, something like that. Queen d6, and if takes the rook, take back with the king, is it, or take back with the rook? Yeah, don't take back with the queen because then you're giving the opponent a queen in hand. Yeah, Katas says queen d6 instead of bishop h3 is safer, not allowing all of this. But actually, going back here, maybe here there was something more powerful, just simply going bishop takes g2, just more powerful. And even going back here, bishop f3 immediately, I was thinking, yeah, was probably more powerful. But was there any missed mates along here? Any missed mates for black? No, it was just a crushing position. It was never a forcing mate. But wow. Oh, I mean, and also just seeing this move, bishop b4, that was great in this position. Tricky move, bishop b4. Apparently, black is winning minus 29.5 or something. But wow, what a tricky move. Because and pawn here, the amazing defense. Okay, congratulations. And Alduto dying, why is minus 20 so hard? And Legion says, I sort of knew I was losing, but didn't suspect I was dead the whole game. Yeah, pawn at e7 is a sick defense. After bishop takes pawn, the king just skirts away. Wow, good games. And remember everyone, Crazyhouse World Championship registration closes tomorrow. So I'll put the link in the video description and I put it in the Twitch chat. I'm sure everyone signed up. There are just a few big names who haven't signed up yet, so do sign up, guys. I'm talking to you, GSVC, Mugwort, Penguin GIM, Legion Destroyer. Okay, bye guys. Have a good weekend.